the world with the coronavirus epidemic has really thrusted telehealth into the main spotlight. And now people are asking about it, they're talking about it, or they're looking for other ways to access healthcare, and they're not quite sure how to do it. So I'm really glad that you and I are having this meeting to give people the opportunity to know what's available out there, how to access it, and to know that it can be just as successful as hands-on or face-to-face rehabilitation.
Absolutely. I'm happy you brought that up because I couldn't agree more that telehealth, it, it, it starts to address a big need that healthcare can't really address as currently stated. And one of those issues that you mentioned is time. I mean, people are busier now more than ever. I mean, being able, if you have a kid, like with the athletes that you're working with, that requires the mom or the dad to take off time from their work, go pick up their child, come to a clinic, take the kid back to school, and then back to work. I mean, that seems to be, I mean, that's one way of doing it. But now with the advent of telehealth, that seems like the old way of doing it and super inefficient. So now instead of having to do all those different trips, take off a couple hours, take the kid out of school, they can simply hop on to a video call with you pretty much anywhere as long as they have internet. And that's what's really great about telehealth is it's actually starting to address some of the problems that are currently being unmet. So like all things in the world, there's always some problems that start to develop, and then over time solutions start to be implemented. And like you mentioned, the unfortunate event of the coronavirus and the pandemic, and where everyone's quarantined and being forced home, it's not a fun time, but it has also expedited the transition and the reality of how important telehealth, telephysical therapy, and really honestly any industry, how much can actually be provided through live video without quality being sacrificed, which I found to
Yeah.
be super fascinating because everyone's been watching videos forever on YouTube pre-recorded, and for some reason with healthcare, people are a little bit apprehensive with a live interaction, but they're super comfortable with a pre-recorded video walking people through exercises. So that's kind of fascinating to me.
Yes. Yeah. Why do you think that is? Why is it that it's why do you think that the notion of telehealth, yeah, like you said, the coronavirus has brought it into the spotlight, but why do you think it's taken so long for this concept of telehealth to make its way into, kind of now mainstream conversation?
Yeah, it's a good question and definitely multifaceted. To me, one of the things that comes to mind for me on why that took so long is in general, healthcare is kind of the hush hush scenario where there's so many guardrails behind what type of health condition you're dealing with. So it's almost like that secretive thing that people like kind of want to hold to themselves. And so instead of having a live interaction where they might not trust the other individual, just the idea of having someone live coming into them may be a little bit new, and because it's new makes them a little bit more apprehensive. Whereas with YouTube, you can still get some video demonstration, but you don't have that added unknown of having someone live on the other side of the video. So to me, that's probably one of the biggest barriers. But just like YouTube, when it first came out, people were against looking at YouTube and they didn't think there was any value in it. They didn't think you could learn anything through video. So now obviously we're 10 years into that experience, if not more, and YouTube University is a real thing. So I think as
Yeah.
people get more comfortable with video, now telehealth comes into play because YouTube kind of set the standard, but now live video is kind of raising the bar a little bit so you can get live dialogue. So I think it's just going to take a little bit of time for people to see that it's actually a real thing before they get comfortable. And then just like all things, after we get past the early adopting phase, then a large portion will get into it and then it's normalized. So I think that's only a matter of time.
Yeah, I agree. I think the work culture in a lot of different industries is very video based, whether it's meetings. So there already is a large comfort, I think, with people using video based conferencing. And I only see that spilling, outwards from, the other industries in towards all demographics feeling comfortable with using technology like this to access healthcare. I think young people are really great with technology, and I think now there's going to be a push for older people to learn technology. And really, this actually isn't even that hard, right? Like all it is just downloading an app, sending a link to a person, and having them click on that link. And it's pretty simple. It's almost this, like I think it took me like 3 clicks, from opening up my computer to get into my email to clicking on your link to like linking up with you in this format. So I think the steps to get into it are super easy. Now that's provided that you have the luxury of the availability of a computer or iPad or iPhone that has camera. But telehealth extends just beyond video, right?
Yep.
It's not just video. It can be other forms of communication, right? So it can be audio, and there's so many different aspects to it that allow you to be anywhere, and to access from so many different types of technology or platforms that there is a platform that's probably comfortable for everyone that they can use.